What's going on, guys? Jackson Weber here with a new video, and today I'm going to be giving my predictions and presumptions for the new season of Big Brother premiering tomorrow at the time of recording. Hopefully, at the time of release, I would like to get this video out today, but that's besides the point. For many months now, we've all been looking forward to the new season of Big Brother, mainly the cast reveal, and yesterday it came out. And first of all, there was a lot of speculation because this cast was presumed to be AI generated at first because someone ran it through an AI and it was like a 94% that this was an AI generated cast, which proved to be fake. This actually was the real cast, but it was still an interesting moment because people were kind of like in a frenzy on Twitter trying to figure out if this cast was real or not. But it is real, and today I'm going to be ranking everyone based on how likely I think they are to win the season. I read all the interviews, I've seen people's reactions on social media, and I'm not basing any of my predictions on that, of course, because that has no impact. But of course, what these people say is very important. But again, these are just predictions, and I would love to be proven wrong on all of these because, again, Big Brother is a game about expecting the unexpected, so I could easily be proven wrong. And with that being said, I'll get right into it with number 16, the person I think is the least likely to win the season, and that is Leah. Now, Leah, she doesn't really know the game of Big Brother. That much is obvious. She doesn't really have anyone she wants to model the game off of because she doesn't have anyone to base the game off of. She only really knows the show from what her mom and sister have told her, which is not a great sign. Um, and she literally thinks that she'll win the season because 26 is her lucky number. Um, yeah, and she's also excited to be in the house because she wants to see how the game truly works, which I just don't think is a winning strategy. Leah is definitely one of the people this season who's there to be on TV, not to play Big Brother, and those types of people never win the show. So that's why I put her down here. I don't think I will dislike Leah's presence on the season, but overall, I just think she has like no shot at winning the season. Now that leaves us with only 15 people remaining, and this next person is someone else I think is going to have no shot at winning the game, but for the opposite reason as Leah, being that they're going to massively overplay, and that person is Cedric. Now, Cedric claims to be very adaptable, and he wants to be loyal, but he also wants to backstab. He's gone back and forth in this interview saying like he's going to be super loyal, but he's also going to backstab. And that is just not doing it for me. Cedric just, he does not have a shot at winning this game. Now, he could surprise me. Out of everyone in like the bottom tier of like people I think have no shot at winning, he could easily surprise me. So why is he at number 15? I don't really know. I just think he's going to be a bit unlikable. I think Cedric is definitely going to be a person who gets backdoored pre-merge. Just he gives that vibe. Someone who's going to get backdoored pre-merge. Um, However, what puts him above everyone else is that he could potentially win competitions, but that can only take you so far. I think he has no shot at winning the season, and hey, he could easily prove me wrong, but I'm not going to count on it. That segment was rather short, but this next person I definitely have a lot more to say about, and that person is Lisa. Now, Lisa strikes me as someone who's going to have an incredible start to the game. Like, she's going to get into a major alliance, one that could definitely carry her far to the end of the game, but she is going to just blow it all up for her, like Audrey in Big Brother 17. Like, she's just going to blow up and just dig her own grave. She doesn't want to emulate another house guest, nor does she want to manipulate. In fact, she claims that she's going to be an entirely unique figure on this season. And I don't know, it's just not doing it for me. The more eccentric personalities on Big Brother always tend to flame out early. And that's definitely going to be what Lisa is like on this season. I don't think she's making it very far. Again, I think she's going to be a very likable personality. I think I'm going to enjoy her. She'll definitely be entertaining, but when it comes to how likely she is to win, I don't see her making it very far, nor do I think she could ever win a jury vote. Now, next up, I'm going to be putting someone who I really, really want to put high on my list, but after reading their interviews and just really thinking it through, I just could not in good faith put this person any higher than number 13, and that person is unfortunately Quinn. Now, Quinn is the de facto super fan of the season. He's studied the game to a T. He's like Michael from Big Brother 24. He's written notes. He's literally made analysis of Big Brother saying there's four types of players and that he is going to be a rat. And I don't know, man. This just seems like overstudying to me. Like my teachers would always say, like, oh, you can overstudy for a test. Quinn's definitely doing that here. He just he reminds me of the Survivor superfans from the previous couple of seasons, like Brandon from Survivor 45 or Jelinski from Survivor 46. That's what Quinn reminds me of. And no, it's not just because he has long brown hair and glasses. It's also just because like he just seems like way too overconfident, and the fact that he's a super fan means he's going to win. Because winning Big Brother as a super fan is a lot harder than you would think. Because think about like the last few winners we've had, those being Xavier Taylor and Jag. They weren't massive fans of Big Brother. In fact, I hardly think Xavier was a fan of Big Brother at all, if my memory is correct. So you don't really need to have this like big view of the game and like know all of it. Of course, that's important. Leah placed last because she knows basically nothing about Big Brother, but I digress. Quinn just seems to know too much, and I think he's going to panic when something goes wrong for him, and it's ultimately going to result in him losing the game. However, one compliment I'll give him is that he does want to play like Big Brother 3 Jason. And I could definitely admire that because Jason is one of my favorite Big Brother players of all time and someone I've always thought deserved a second chance. So I do appreciate that, but that doesn't really do much for me. And another thing that really pushes Quinn back for me is he claims that he wants to stir up unnecessary drama. And I don't understand that because he knows Big Brother well. And if any of this drama is going to involve him or come back to him, that's bad because if there's anything any Big Brother player should know is that getting into a fight does not do good for you. Players like Dan Giesling won on Big Brother 10 for being pretty much the only person that season to avoid any major conflict. So I don't really see what Quinn's doing there, but maybe I read that wrong. Moving on to number 12 is probably the person I've seen the least support for and probably the most hatred. And he's someone I also think has no shot at winning of the game, and he's the last person on this list who I ultimately think has zero chance at ultimately winning. And that person, if you didn't already guess, was Kenny. And Kenny just seems like he's going to be this season's douche. And he's already the oldest house guest at 56. And people like that already come into Big Brother with a disadvantage because most of the other house guests are in their 20s or early 30s. And I don't know, Kenny just doesn't seem to have like the right like mindset for Big Brother. Like he claims to want to get rid of the sensitive people and people who take things too personally. And I don't know what that means, but I don't really think it can mean anything good. I don't think anyone on this cast could possibly get along with Kenny, except for maybe one other person later down the line of this list, but I'm ultimately not confident about Kenny's performance on the season. Another thing is that his favorite person, like another thing that makes me think he'll be a bad player, is that he wants to play like Sam from Big Brother 21. And if you know anything about Big Brother 21, standing anyone from that season, mainly the men, is a problem. So, yeah, I am not confident about Kenny. I don't think he'll win comps. I don't think he'll make it to jury. And ultimately, I definitely do not think he has any shot of winning the game. Now, moving on, we have 11 people left, and starting with a person that I think has a possibility of winning the game, but ultimately not much, is Joseph. Now, Joseph is going to be the smallest segment of this video because I ultimately don't know much about this guy. From his interviews, I can't really gauge much from him. I don't have a lot to say other than he has an interesting mustache, and I don't know why his cast photo is so off center. But he claims he's going to backstab, and now he wants to play like Devon, which I suppose I can admire. But other than that, I don't know much about Joseph. I think he could make a deep run, but I don't know. I just don't think he's going to be all the way there when it comes to the strategy. Now, that last segment was very short, like probably under a minute. But this next person, I definitely have a lot more to say about. I've been very curious about this person ever since the cast was revealed, and that person is Angela. Now, Angela is the oldest woman, being 50 years old, and she's a people person according to herself, and she definitely shows it. She's definitely going to be the mother of the season, you know, taking care of the more less confident people and just like being kind to everybody, mothering them, all that. And she wants to be herself too, unapologetic Angela, she calls it, and she wants to use her age to her advantage, which I think is going to take her far into the game. I don't see how Angela goes out pre-jury unless she does something to really screw up her social game. However, players like Angela just don't tend to win Big Brother. The mothers make it far, never really do they succeed ultimately in their goal. I just, I don't know. Angela is definitely going to make a good run, but I see her as an early juror at best. But she could definitely impress us. We've seen players on Big Brother surprise us before. I would not be shocked if Angela can somehow pull out a victory. However, she has way more obstacles in her way than most. My main problem with Angela, like big problem, is that she wants to play like Cody. I don't know how she plans on doing that. Cody, sure, he got along with people, but the way Cody got along with people and the way Angela plans on getting along with people are two completely different things. Because Cody was a conventionally attractive man who was about half the age Angela was on his first season. So I don't see how Angela is going to capitalize on that the same way Cody was able to in both of his seasons. So that's the main thing I'm curious about Angela for, but she could definitely surprise me, and I would love to see her pull out a win. She's definitely one of the people I'm rooting for this season. Now, we're moving on to another person who I've been very interested in since the cast was revealed, someone who we found out almost immediately about, and someone who has a lot of controversy already. And that person is Brooklyn. Brooklyn has a lot going for her and also a lot going against her. One thing going for her is that she wants to play like Taylor, which I could definitely see her being able to do. Not saying that Brooklyn's going to be hated off the bat, but Taylor was able to come back in a way we haven't seen anybody else in Big Brother history do. And I could see Brooklyn doing the same thing because I think Brooklyn is going to have a hard time off the bat in the Big Brother house. Definitely. But there's also things holding Brooklyn back. She wants to play matchmaker in the Big Brother house, which I just don't see playing to her benefit in any way. I don't think we've ever seen someone try to play matchmaker in the Big Brother house, like set up showmances. That works in the real life, but in the Big Brother house, I just don't see it working out. Like, playing matchmaker in the Big Brother house doesn't help you. If anything, if those two catch on to what you're doing, it will probably only hurt you. Another thing Brooklyn wants to do is she wants to be the mother in the house. And while, yes, Brooklyn is a mom, she doesn't have the mother energy that Angela has. So that could be a problem considering the fact that Brooklyn's about half the age as Angela is. So being the mother in the house, which is typically a role filled by older people, say Felicia from Big Brother 25 or Rennie from Big Brother 10, I just don't see it working for Brooklyn. However, she could definitely pull out a comp win in a case where she really needs to, or to take out a big opponent. I definitely think she's one of the more physically capable women of this season, something that Big Brother 25 was severely lacking, provided the season has much more equitable comps, I definitely think Brooklyn could win a couple. Now on to number 8. This person, I'm giving the award of being just too kind for Big Brother, and that person is Chemo. Chemo wants to enter the game with an aloha spirit, and I don't know if that means he's going to like literally say aloha to every house guest when they walk in the front door, and I really hope he doesn't because making yourself known like that is pretty bad early on and never really works out because like as we've seen from let's say Cindy from Big Brother Canada who went around like day 1 saying hi, I'm Cindy with an S, and everyone nominated her because they found her annoying. I really think that that could happen to Chemo, and doing this could easily make himself a week 1 target. But if he can make it past week 1, I think Chemo's in for a deep run. He's been through a lot. He's got a very kind spirit. He wants to play like Andy. I think he can play like Andy. He seems to be easily adaptable, and he just seems ready to play Big Brother. However, he definitely will have a hard time making it through the early game, depending on how open he is about himself, because he does seem like one of the more big personalities on this cast. But if he can make it through the first couple weeks unnoticed, I definitely think he's in for a deep run. A winning game, possibly, but not super confident on. As I've said, or I guess I haven't said, but Jam Jam from Survivor 44 was someone I definitely did expect to win, and he definitely has a lot in common with Chemo. So who knows? Chemo could be the Jam Jam of Big Brother. He could win, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. He'll definitely have to show how he performs before I can really say whether or not he has a chance at winning. But there's a lot of people on this cast I'm not confident about, so Chemo's going to be going higher than most people for that reason, and going at the middle at number 8. Now, next up, we have someone who is already pretty hated by the fandom for reasons I'm not going to get into here because I don't really care to talk about like social stuff or politics on this channel, so I'm not going to get into any of that. But at number 7 is going to be Chelsea. Chelsea is probably going to be pretty good at comps, mainly mental ones, so I could see her as more physical as she lets on. The big problem a lot of people have with Chelsea is she's probably going to be a bit too confrontational. Like, I feel like if anyone, she's going to be the one to get into fights this season, and that will probably ultimately lose her the game. But if she could really dial back the more open parts of her personality, I think Chelsea is definitely in for a deeper run than we think. Um, she probably will be good at forming alliances, which is not something I've really focused on in this video too much because most of these people probably can, but I think Chelsea's going to be someone who can form alliances and bring people together, mainly the women. I definitely think Chelsea's going to be the kind of person to try and form an all girls alliance, probably with some people I mentioned earlier and a couple people I have yet to talk about. But I definitely think that if anyone on this season would try to form a girls alliance, it's probably her. And she could be in for a deep run if she puts her trust in the right areas. So we'll just have to see how Chelsea does on Big Brother 26. Now we're down to the final 6. The people I do think could make it to the end game and win. I have pretty good odds on them. Number 6 is a person probably on the season I'm least enthusiastic about, but I still generally think they're going to play a good game, and that person's Matt. Now, Matt just seems like a pretty bland personality overall, but that doesn't really mean he'll do badly. Now, obviously, there are people on Big Brother who are bland and go out early, like Brian in Big Brother 10 or Jeff in BB17. That could easily happen to Matt. But I don't know. Matt seems like he's set strategically. He knows what he wants to do, and his goals are pretty reasonable without, being too ambitious or not ambitious enough. He seems like he could be the season's comp beast. I could definitely see it. He looks very physically fit, and he claims that he'll be able to get along with the older people. And the older people of the season, obviously, are Angela and Kenny. And I think he could get along with Kenny. I don't know about Angela, but Kenny, again, just seems like too unlikable of a personality for Matt to really click with him. But we'll really have to see because, again, he was raised by his father who was much older than him. So that could like sway sort of how he feels about Kenny. Maybe it could be more forgiving of him than most other people. But Matt's fine with blindsiding, which is good because most people seem like, oh, I don't do it really, but I can if I want to. Matt seems like he could definitely pull off a blindside or a backdoor if he really needs to. He's also looking out for the super fans, so people like Quinn especially need to look out. And that's a good strategy. I definitely think Matt has a winning game in him, even if, I probably won't be super enthusiastic about that win. Matt definitely has a shot at taking home everything here. Now, these top five people are not only the people I am most confident about winning, but most of them are the people I really do want to see win this season. And number five, aka the least rootable of the five for me at least, and from what I've seen generally, the community is Mackenzie. And Mackenzie seems very capable socially. I think she's going to have no problem getting along with the men and the women in the house pretty equally. I definitely think Mackenzie could just scoot by the first few weeks without really having to worry. Mackenzie's definitely going to pull out a couple of HOH wins and probably a couple of veto wins. I definitely think she's going to win the most comps out of any woman this season. Again, provided these comps are more equitable. Again, looking at you, Big Brother 25, that was a hot mess. She claims to be capable socially, mentally, and physically, and I believe her. She looks very well put together, and she seems ready more than almost anybody else to play the game. I'm definitely looking forward to what Mackenzie does this season. She's definitely someone to watch out for, and I don't think anyone's going to do it. Mackenzie's definitely going to be underestimated, and by the time people figure out what she's all about, it's probably going to be too late. I'm very confident about how Mackenzie's going to do this season, especially since she wants to model her game after Casey from Big Brother 20, which, again, is a very safe guess. We always have people saying they want to play like Dan or people who say they want to play like Nicole, and that's just not an easy thing to do. But Casey, again, that's a good person to model your game after, and Mackenzie definitely seems like the kind of person who could do that. So I'm definitely looking forward to how Mackenzie could do on this season of Big Brother, and I think other people need to start looking after her as well too. Now we're down to the final four, and at number four is someone I had really, really good feelings about, and was my number one initially, but one thing knocked him all the way down to number four. And it's a 50-50 between the two of them. And if you've read anything about the season, you probably already know who I'm talking about. And that person is Cam. Cam, he seems like a very nice person. Maybe even a little too nice for Big Brother. Not super nice like Chemo, but still a nice person. He's going to have no problem getting along with the men in the house like Cedric, Matt, or Joseph. I think he's definitely going to be set there. He's not going to be a huge target early on in the game. He's not going to go home pre-jury. Like more than anybody else, there's just no way this guy goes home pre-jury. No way. If he does, I will eat my hat. But again, Cam is a good candidate for an alliance. Cam is the kind of person you definitely want to ally with in the Big Brother house. He's going to win competitions. He's loyal. He's got really good vibes. He is definitely, more than anybody else, the guy that these people want to align with. So why is he number four? Why are three people above him? Well, his favorite player and the person he wants to model his game after is Jared from Big Brother 25, which I cannot fathom why anyone would want to after how disastrous his game was last season. Like, seriously, Jared was not only an incredibly unlikable figure in the house, but he sucked at the game as well, totally blowing up his game in his HOH week and ultimately going out pre-jury. I don't understand why Cam wants to base his game off of Jared, and if he's really committed to doing that, I just don't see how Cam could win. But I don't know, maybe he was just talking out of his ass there. If he really can get serious about this game, then I think Cam is in for a great ride and is one of the best candidates to win the season. people who are doing their Big Brother draft still should definitely be looking out for this guy. Now, I just sung the praises of Cam, so obviously, I have almost nothing but praise for these last three people. And the first person I'm going to be talking about is the bronze medal, Rubina. Rubina is going to be everything Blue from last season claimed to be. We thought she was going to be an incredible figure last season, and she proved to be one of the most obnoxious characters in recent Big Brother. Rubina strikes me as the big personality Blue claimed to be, but she's going to have the social game. She's going to have the comp strength. She's going to have the energy. She's going to backstab. She's going to make it very far in this game, and people need to watch out for her. Because, again, the problem with Blue is that she did basically nothing. She sat around, she was in an alliance, she kind of just coasted in those alliances. She had a showmance with Jared, and that was about it. I was so disappointed in Blue. Her, Corey, and Felicia were my top three last season, and Blue disappointed me more than anybody on that cast. Rubina, I know for a fact she will not disappoint us. She is going to be incredible on this season. I can't wait to hear all of her quote Juliisms. I'm just, I'm so excited for her. I cannot wait to see what Rubina brings on this season of Big Brother, and I really hope she can pull out a victory at the end of it. Now we're down to two people. Who is going to come out on top? Takor or Tucker? Well, after much deliberation, I decided that I'll be putting my silver medal on the neck of Takor. Takor is so fun. I love everything about her. She says she's going to use all the skills she learned throughout her life. She's had a tough upbringing. She has learned a lot in her life, and she's going to use every last one of those abilities to win the game of Big Brother. And she's not naturally a backstabber, but I don't see that as a problem. Takora doesn't seem like the person who needs to backstab because I don't think anyone's going to be coming after her. Takor seems too likable to really be a target at any point in the game. I don't see how she'll go on anyone's bad side. I don't think she's going to float. She's definitely going to have the energy. She's going to be in alliances. Again, she's a great strategic number, and she's definitely going to be another person to form alliances. So, if she can form a good alliance and put her trust in the right people, I think Takor absolutely has a winning game. And I am so ready to see how Takor does on this season. Please, Takor, don't disappoint us. We need you to win. But ultimately, there was one person that I knew above everyone else, well, before Cam screwed it up, would be the best candidate of winning this season. And that person is Tucker. Tucker is a lighthearted person. He's funny. He's he seems like the perfect person for this game. He's smart. He's athletic. He's got the mental strength. He can get confrontational with his back against the wall. He doesn't want to backstab unless he absolutely needs to. He wants to play like Dan. Tucker is the person to watch this season, people. I'm telling you that right now. Tucker is going to win Big Brother 26. I will put money on it. He has the best odds out of anybody at winning this game. He's ready. He's fit for the game. He's perfect. He's going to be an all-star. Tucker, more than anybody else, can win Big Brother. I have no notes. Much like the other top three, I've got nothing but positives to say about him. I don't see how Tucker goes pre-jury. He'll have to really screw up for that to happen, and he could survive many, many a twist. I don't see how anyone could hate this guy. Tucker is going to win Big Brother 26, mark my words. He may not be my favorite, but I'm most confident in him winning just based on first impressions. And that's going to do it. Sorry if I just spent the past 5 minutes of the video just blindly praising Rubina, Takor, and Tucker, but I really have nothing negative to say about them. I'm really looking forward to this cast. While these people seem like the most normal cast Big Brother has had in quite some time, I think they could surprise us. They've got eccentric personalities, like Lisa or Quinn. We have strategic masterminds, like Mackenzie or Brooklyn. We have compies like Cam and Matt. We have All of it. We have like the whole spectrum of Big Brother personalities that we want. Like, I'm so ready for the season. I can't wait to see what these people bring us. And sure, BBAI is a scary twist, and I can definitely see how some of these people will get twist screwed. I don't know, I'm confident about the season being a huge, huge step up from last season, which was one of the worst Big Brother seasons of all time. Hopefully, the 17th house guest won't throw all my predictions out the window and blow these 16 out of the water. I don't know. Who knows what BA who knows what the AI twist could bring? We're just gonna have to wait and see. So yeah, that's gonna do it for my video. Thank you guys for watching.